Hi, this is a video that's going to show new features in Big Blue front end. Okay, so one problem that we have with a lot of emulators is that they don't have good escape key functionality. Pretty much when you have an arcade cabinet, you want the escape key to exit the program that you punched, so you can go back to the menu and do whatever you're going to do. So I'm going to go into the 101 Fighter menu here, and you see we have Virtua Fighter 2, and the only good emulator for this game right now is the M2 Model 2 emulator. And you'll notice that when we launch this thing, we go into the game okay, that's fine. But the problem is when we press escape, all it really does is minimize the program. It doesn't actually exit the emulator. And that's a real problem because you only really have a joystick on an arcade cabinet. And you need a way to get back to the front end. So when I press escape here, you see what happens. It just minimizes the emulator. It doesn't actually close it. So I'm going to install that board and get out of here. Okay, so here's what we can do in Big Blue now. In the configuration utility, you can edit the game, and you'll notice that there's a new option called Kill Program Process on Escape. When you select that, it's going to basically override the escape key behavior, and instead of doing what it would normally do, exit the emulator, the escape button press is going to be overridden, and it's going to actually kill the process. So now if we go back into Big Blue, do the same thing here. You'll see that when we press the escape key, we're just going to immediately exit the emulator and return to the front end. I'm just letting it, load here. Just so that it's actually running. Dude, isn't this game fantastic? Amazing. Okay, so there we go. Escape, kill the process, and the way this was implemented in Big Blue, I think, is pretty good. Instead of just attaching itself to the process itself, what it's really doing is it's just looking up the process by ID and killing that one. And it was implemented that way so that we're not attaching to a process and causing issues with multi-threaded emulators. Okay, so we have that feature. That's nice. Another thing that we can do here is going to require demonstrating the normal behavior of MAME versus what you can do in Big Blue. Okay, so if I go into, say, STL MAME, and I launch a program from the command line, you can see my mouse cursor here in the middle of the screen. I'm going to launch it. Notice how default Windows behavior, when a program is launched, you can see the mouse cursor, until it's done, loading up the program, and it kind of takes away some of the immersion there when you see that mouse cursor, hourglass or loading cursor when you launch a game. So what I did in Big Blue was when you launch the front end now, it actually hides the mouse cursor. So just to give you a demonstration of this here, once I launch Big Blue, if I Alt-Tab out of this guy and I move my mouse cursor around, see how my mouse cursor is actually invisible? Big Blue is using this hidden cursor file, and it's dynamically replacing the Windows cursor with a transparent cursor so that you won't see the loading. can just seamlessly launch into a game. So if I launch Alien vs. Predator here, bam, no icon, no nothing, completely seamless transition, completely beautiful transition. It looks professional, it looks good, it doesn't look cheap. And I worked really hard to make the whole experience here seamless. You know, Big Blue runs in full screen, or rather, you know, borderless window mode, as opposed to full screen exclusive mode. And the reason it's all like this is so you can just have those perfect transitions into the emulator. And you notice when I exit, just fades back in, really seamless, really smooth, really nice. I want the arcade cabinet that this thing runs in to really be beautiful and flawless. I don't want it to look cheesy and cheap and clunky and look like a computer. And so this is all just part of making that happen. So those are the changes. There are some more things upcoming. I've done some work on adding video playback to Big Blue, and keeping with everything else I've done in the front end. I'm trying to make it an interesting implementation that sets itself apart from the other front end. So Big Blue is going to be doing 60 frames per second plus video playback, and it's going to have a really nice transition into the videos from the screenshots, so it should look really smooth. I mean, personally, I'm not entirely sold on videos yet, especially with this front end. There's so much stuff going on. It's already so animated. You got parallax in the background, you got the crowd animated, the fighters animated, the rampage monsters running around. I almost think it's too much with this, but I mean, I guess having the option isn't going to really hurt anybody. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.